Hi, what types of assignments do you think benefit students' brains to make sure that they are learning? With most states adopting NGSS or something similar, science teachers are moving away from the sit and get to the facilitator roles. Aloha, teacher friends. I'm Fleur. If we haven't met yet, I'm the face of Aloha Monday Teaching, and I help middle school science teachers be intentional, prepared, and refreshed. So they look forward to Mondays and any day by providing resources and strategies all about science in middle school. So today we're talking all about creating engaging lessons and activities. So before we start, be sure that you have already gotten your free guide. If not, go here now. Well, maybe after the video, but get your free guide, 5 daily must-do routines to run your science classroom like a pro. Just go to fleurstrongoli.com/daily. And don't miss a thing. Be sure that you like and subscribe to this YouTube channel. That way you can get access to the videos and all of that. And you can find me on Facebook and Instagram at Aloha Monday Teaching. And also be sure that you get my weekly newsletter when you get your free guide at fleurstrongoli.com/daily. All right, let's begin. So if you haven't watched the first 2 videos about in this classroom management series, we have we're breaking down this blog post. So this is a big blog post. So the first part was about building a positive and safe classroom community. And the second part was about classroom procedures and routines. So the final part of science classroom management that I focus on is creating those engaging lessons and activities. So here are 3 strategies to consider as you are creating these lessons and activities that you're going to have your students do. So when you're planning your actual lessons, use your ideas from these strategies and incorporate them into the content that you're going to teach, student labs, projects, and so on. Okay, so understanding the middle school brain is the first strategy. This is such an interesting area for me and one that I am continuously learning about to improve student learning in my own classroom. So I love learning about the brain. I think it's fascinating, and the middle school brain is no exception. So the middle school brain is still developing, hormones are fluctuating, and there's different chemical responses that influence behavior and learning. And boys and girls also use their parts of their brains differently, which affects learning and behavior. So I recommend some books. There's pictures here. I've got a couple with me. So I've got Boys and Girls Learn Differently. This is a great book. There's a section for middle school teachers and other ages too. Strategies for Teaching Boys and Girls. That one gives you a lot of different types of activities to do. I don't have that one with me. That's in my classroom. And Uncommon Sense Teaching. I loved this book. So this book is available on Audible also, which I have links to all of these books and a free Audible trial for you where you get a credit for a free book. So these are some books I really recommend. All right, so once you learn more about the middle school brain, you can create engaging lessons and activities that will strengthen both hemispheres of their brain. It'll strengthen the neural connections. That way your students are actually learning. And you can read more. I have more on a blog post, 3 important steps to engage students in lessons for more on the brain and other strategies. And when you follow me on Facebook and Instagram, or when you get my emails, my newsletters, I incorporate these kinds of things into that as well, because it's one of my favorite things to talk about. So the second strategy is all about brain breaks. One of my favorite quotes that the team at the Gurian Institute says is, "If the bum is numb, the brain is the same." So that basically they've been sitting too long and their brain is not processing. They're done. They're out somewhere else and they're not with you. So that reminds me that I need to add movement to my lessons. I need to give them those breaks to let them process what I'm teaching them. And it's recommended for middle schoolers that we give them processing time at least every 15 to 20 minutes, if not less. You can read your students and see when they're zoning out. Like, it's time for a processing break or a brain break. So I break up a lesson, especially when I'm teaching and it's a note-taking day. I break it up by providing brain breaks and movement and discussion and things like that. So this is this book here, Refocus and Recharge. This is one of my favorite brain break books to refer to for our middle schoolers. I highly recommend this book, especially if you're like me. I was never used to doing brain breaks. And so this book has helped me a lot. And so in that book, there's brain breaks that calm the room or energize the room. So depending on your needs. And then some simple brain breaks that you can do. Obviously, you can have them breathe if they need to calm down their amygdala or something. Have them just breathe to kind of calm down, maybe before they take a test or something like that. Stand up and stretch, get that movement in there. Stand up to respond to a question, to discuss with a partner. I like to do, in the book, they have this brain break called air write, and you just write the words. So I'll have them write out like a vocabulary word in the air, and then I have them use their non-dominant hand, or I have them use their best handwriting or anything like that. And I like to joke with them. I've also created this brain-based strategies PowerPoint, which I linked in the description too. And this is something you can insert into your PowerPoint slides or your Google slides, whatever you use to present information, to make sure that you're doing brain breaks and think time and discussion. It's just a helpful tool. Another option is using Pear Deck. They have pre-made slides that remind you to do this. And yeah, so brain breaks. And the third strategy, when you're creating lessons, engaging lessons and activities, is to consider your students' learning styles, which you'll need to know them when you build the community, and then you'll start to find out how their preference in learning and how they want to show things. So you can, if they like to write, have them write a story or write a news article. Maybe they like to draw. You can have them make a poster, make some kind of illustration, a comic book or something like that to show the concept that they're learning. They can create something like a model or build a model, create a skit, perform a skit, a song, all those kinds of things. So giving them a choice to demonstrate their understanding based on their strengths will allow them to be even more engaged in their learning. So in this third part of our science classroom management series, we went over strategies to consider when you are creating your lessons and activities so that they are engaging. So consider your students' brains, learning styles, and then incorporate brain breaks and processing time so they can learn the information. They can make those neural connections even stronger and put it into long-term memory. So what are some things that you consider when you're creating engaging lessons and activities? Do you have favorites that you tend to use? Go ahead and share below. I'd love to see what you do in your classroom. And be sure, before you go, to check out the description for links on all these other blog posts and videos about this topic. And make sure that you grab your free guide, 5 Daily Must-Do Routines, to run your science classroom like a pro at fleurstrongoli.com/daily. And then don't forget to like and subscribe. All right, well, thank you so much for joining us today. Joining me, us, we're all here together. Thank you for watching, and I will see you soon.